Welcome to the Time for Heroes podcast.
Hi, I'm Kerr. I'm from the High Flats, and you're listening to the Time for Heroes podcast.
Kerr for the High Flats, a old band that I managed. We're going to talk about your career so far, and it's everything that's went in the past and everything that's coming up in the future. But you've listened to the podcast, so you know how it all fucking goes. Like to get right back to the start. What was life like for a young Kerr growing up?
Well, cheers for having me, Martin. It's a pleasure. Life growing up, man, pretty normal. Grew up in Croftfoot. I went to Kings Park Secondary, and was never really into music. I was more into football. I was right into football. I loved playing football and that. And music wasn't a thing until I'd fractured my foot playing football. So I was kind of left with nothing to do for a long time. My dad played guitar, and I just was like, oh, I'm gonna have a wee crack at one of them because I was just lying about the house, kind of placed about the house. I was like, I'm gonna have a wee crack and try and pick it up and see what I can do with it. And I quickly kind of picked it up. It felt good playing it. But other than that, it was pretty normal. I mean, I never really had an interest in music. I like listening to it and that, but it was always about football first and foremost. Like in school and stuff. Like I didn't really I didn't excel in school. I found it quite difficult. There was nothing particular that I was brilliant at, and I just kind of cruised through it. It really wasn't anything significant about it. Do you know what I mean? So it was only after I left school, kind of near the end of my time in school, that I'd kind of really got into music and really kind of found a passion for it. Do you know what I mean?
So, like, obviously, the band you all kind of grew up together, you all went to school together. So, what was kind of the rest of the band? What was their sort of interest in music? Was it the kind of same levels as yourself? And how did kind of that then evolve into kind of forming the band?
Well, me and Jai met in school, and me, Hamza, Jai, and Thomas all went to school together. Scott was the only one that didn't go to school with us. And Thomas, I've known Thomas since nursery. We've been right the way through it, nursery, primary, and secondary. So we've known each other for a long time. But I met Jai in secondary in Kings Park, and it was just one day we were just sitting together. Like the teacher had put out a seating plan, and he put me sitting across from Jai, and this guy's cracking jokes, man. And I'd never spoke to him before, and he was just hitting out with these absolute belters, like just one-liners constantly. I'm like, this guy's brilliant. He's some laugh. And that was about third year, so we were quite. We didn't really meet until then. We'd known each other and that, but properly actually speaking each other, we didn't really talk until then. But me and him, we were just inseparable right from the get-go, and still are. Just right into, he was right into his music. He kind of learned quite young. I kind of started hanging out, and I would go to his, and he would teach me like the bass lines to like the Stone Roses and that, and we would just kind of practice and kind of pick it up together and start, and then we ended up starting to write together, like just like for fun. I mean, just having a bit of fun, jamming as we would say. We would just jam, and man, it's still great. We still do it. Hamza was a year older than us. He was actually in a band with Jai in school. I can't remember the name of it, but they were pretty good. Hamza did music and that in school, so he was trained how to actually play the drums and stuff. But I'd never really knew Hamza well in school. It was only after, when we kind of got older, that we kind of started to know each other. And then Scott, I met Scott for the first time when we went to college together, and we were doing like a sports course, and he was really quiet, and he was like myself, and he was like, it was just funny because one day we were just talking outside of the college. We were just chatting, like kind of just talking as you do, and I was like, oh, so what is it you do for work? And he's like, oh, well, I work at McDonald's. And he's like, oh, no way, so you must know Jai, because Jai worked in McDonald's at the time. And he's like, oh, mate, I know Jai, he's one of my best mates. And it was like, no fucking way, man. So we just had it off right away, and he's right into his music as well, man. But it wasn't until like after that, maybe after we'd left college, because me and Scott stuck it out, we both chucked it. And it was only after that we started me and Jai had been playing for quite a while, and we just were like, oh, why don't we get a band together? And it was kind of Jai that kind of got everyone together. He's like, well, Thomas, he plays the guitar. He's been learning a lot recently, so we'll get him in. Hamza, I was in a band with Hamza, so we'll get him in, we'll start playing the drums. He can play the drums for us. And we're like, well, who's going to sing? And he's like, oh, well, Scott can sing. And I was like, what? So he's like, I'll get Scott in, he can sing. So we kind of got in, and the first kind of sessions, it was just like a mess about, you know what I mean? Like you're playing like cover songs like Oasis, like Things by the Who and all that. Just kind of learning your craft, and it sounded terrible, but it was a good laugh. And we just kept doing it. Like we just kept at it, and kind of made nights of it. We would just get pissed and just play together for something to do. It wasn't until I think me and Jai just started bringing in some tunes, and we were just kind of mucking about, having fun, like we do, just messing about, and we just kept doing it, and it just kept going, and we kind of got the ball rolling. Really, that was like years ago, and that was before COVID. Once COVID came in, obviously couldn't really do much. We kind of done some stuff, but it was kind of quiet from then.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, I met you through the work, and we used to speak about music all the time, all the gigs that we were going to, stuff like that. And I mind you just thrown into conversation one day that you had this band, and you had something going on, you didn't know what it was and all that. And conversations went on and on. I mind you saying about, look at this gig, we're going to play our first gig in Harley's. And I says, well, why don't I manage these? And it was really funny because I don't know how nervous you were about the gig, but I was nervous about coming to see yous and thinking, are they going to like me? Are they going to want me to manage? Am I going to look like a dick for...
But I was nervous for you as well, because I'm like, are they going to like me? Because I already knew. I was like, yeah, I'd be happy to let go ahead with it. But no, I know, absolutely. It was a good night, that one. That wasn't off. Sorry, on you go.
It was a cracking night, but aye, that's right. You said you had played like something beforehand, wouldn't you?
We'd played a pub in Hamilton, I think it was, and it was just like we were supporting one of Jai's dad's pals, and he was in a cover band, and they were like, oh, we'll get you along, we'll set it up and we'll do a wee gig. And this wee tiny pub, man, I can't mind what it was called. Don't think it's there anymore, I think it's closed. But so we get set up. Yeah, quite quickly.
Place after that gig, that's
quite quickly. I know. Probably was something to do with us, to be fair. We turned up, and it was just like free entry. It wasn't like a gig, an official gig. We just set up in the corner of this wee pub. It was absolutely heaving, man. It was so packed. It was so busy, and we were just doing covers like we had been playing, like practicing in the studio. But that was like the first one, and then after that, it was one of the guys from Modern Kind, Drew. They'd been putting on gigs for a while, and they were doing it in Harley's, and they basically asked us, "Oh, guys, you want to play this gig?" And we were like, yeah, let's do it, because we can finally play our own songs, because we'd been writing for quite a while. We had loads of different tunes. So we took that gig on. I can't mind what year that was. I think that was about 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, 2023, wasn't it?
Aye, yeah, it would have been. And we'd been practicing that much that we were nervous, but we weren't nervous to the point where it was like, oh man, like it was affecting the performance. We were well practiced, man. We were doing it constantly, just playing the set over and over and over again, kind of still to what we do today. And it was absolutely heaving, man. It was so busy, and it's funny because there's not even a stage. It was like a couch area they'd set the gig up in, so it was like on the dance floor where the couches are. So they had to move all the tables and all that. And the floors are pure sticky and all that. I'm like, the Harley Skybar that I know and love. But man, it was good.
It's a cracking venue.
It was great.
So obviously I turned up at the gig, and it wasn't 2023. It was 2024. I mean, you haven't been gone that long. Once she's
it's pretty short.
But from my aspect, I turns up at this gig. Obviously, all I'd known about the band was for what you'd told me. So it turned up at the venue. I thought the venue right away with the heart. See,
the big heart on the wall.
It looked a bit like something for the view.
It did actually, yeah.
And like all the videos of that are cracking. And then obviously meeting the band, man, that was dead awkward, kind of. And we had like a wee chat, but there was nothing all right. I'm not the manager or whatever, and nothing was confirmed or that until like later on, a few weeks later. But for me turning up and just watching your set every day, this is like basically your first proper gig. Every cunt's wearing High Flats t-shirts. And
that's
I'm
right.
Like, right, I'm going to fucking make a fortune after these guys, man. They get the songs, they get the fan base, they get the merch. And all the gigs that I've seen of yous, like that's probably the most memorable for the instant impact. So how did that feel for you playing that gig? So obviously it's in your local area, you've got all your fucking mates, you made a fucking ton of money for that fucking gig
Aye.
as well. Probably the most you have made.
Well, that's right. 'Cause the split was like, oh yeah, we want the bands to get more split, like more of the split from the tickets. We're doing this. They were kind of doing it out of the good of their heart to give bands a platform. But there was that many people that it was so busy. Well, the t-shirt thing was Scott's idea. He just turned up with them and had this design. I think it was his brother that kind of drew it up. They did the logo. So it was kind of just like it wasn't thought about. It was just like, oh, do us a wee logo, and they just came with the t-shirts and that, and it was a cool wee thing to have actually, right from the bat, like right off the bat. But the songs, man, like it really went down a treat because everybody really enjoyed the set, especially Rev. Like the reaction to that song was unbelievable. Like, see, at the end, man, it was madness. Like a song that I'd written maybe a couple of months previous, and it was just going mental. Like, everyone was just going mental for it.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was just loving it, man. It was great.
On Rev, then, how special did you think that song was? Like when you wrote it, when you were planning a set for this night, how did you envision that song going down? Did you think it was a standout to the rest, or what?
Well, that tune, it's weird because it didn't take too long to write. Like, it's quite a long song, but the verses are quite long. But it's like it's good. It's a good kind of complements it all when it's kind of works. When I brought that in, there wasn't any like. I didn't think it was amazing. I just thought, oh, this is what I'm doing. I like writing tunes, so I'll write one like this. And it just kind of clicked. As soon as we brought it in, well, they all knew that it was great. And I was like, oh, I actually hear it now, how good it actually is. When we were putting a set list together, it was definitely one of the ones like, right, that has to be like the one to finish the set, because it's got like there's like a big crescendo at the end of it, and we're all going crazy with the guitars and the drums and that. So it was, we knew that was just going to be the one that would be the final, the closer for the set, and we still do it. Still is that song. But aye, man, it's a weird one because it's something special about it. Do you know what I mean? There's a good vibe about it, and the words aren't, they're easy to remember. They're pretty, the first lyric is the world is waiting outside your open window. And that's a great starting lyric.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, man, we just knew that it was going to be decent, and it's still great. People, we've been doing TikTok and putting posts up. People are still reacting to it, and that came out a couple of years ago now when we first started. And people are just finding it, going, oh, this is amazing, I love this. And that feels good. It feels nice to have that. Like, people actually not giving me validation, but acknowledging that, oh, what you're doing is great. I want more. And
yeah,
it makes me want to do it.
And I mean, it was pretty soon after that then that you played Harley's again. Issues with the PA that night, or the sound system or whatever.
That's right.
But I mean, I thought that night was just as good. You could see within like a month, 6 weeks or whatever for the last one, like the change in the band. You could see the character coming out. Jai was fucking, at one point Jai was up on that couch.
On the couch thing, aye.
Area, fucking jumping about like a madman. So could you see pretty quickly, obviously, like for the reaction for the first Harley's gig, could you see the reaction for the fan base, and looking around the rest of the band, could you see the progression instantly?
Well, yeah, because at that first gig we were just kind of like, we were just set on playing the set as best we can, and then Jai's always been a showman. He likes doing stuff. He's quite loud, and I love that about him. He's great. So he's playing like the wee bits on his bass, like on the chair and all that, and it starts becoming more of a lively show rather than just a couple of guys just standing playing the guitar. So it starts becoming there's a bit more life to it. But it's not something we actually think about. We just have fun. We don't actually go, right, we're going to do this and plan all this stuff and plan the stage presence. We were just slowly but surely kind of getting more comfortable with playing live, because at the end of the day we can only do what we can do. We're not any other band. We're just who we are, and we're just being ourselves when we're on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can definitely see that for the live performance. And I mean, on Jai, like I was looking at all the gigs that you've played while I was there, and there's about 12 different gigs, all different fucking venues as well, other than the two King Tuts in that time. But every fucking gig that I turned up at, Jai had a different haircut.
Still does.
I mean, that's 12 haircuts right away.
Aye.
Different styles and whatever. So like once we set up the group chat and sorting out gigs and stuff like that, at the start when we set up that group chat, could you envisioned the next year, you kind of what you've achieved in that year, like because like listing it off, obviously you get the 2 Harleys, you get McCool's, Nice and Sleazy's, King Tut's, Hug and Pint, Audio, the Bungalow. You played in Air.
Aye, that's right. That's
About
right.
2 or 3 people.
Aye, two punters. One was the
The Poetry Club, Classic Grand. You played one in Edinburgh as well. So kind of in that year, when we started that group chat, could you envisioned how it would take off?
To be honest, no. Like I take every day by day. I don't really plan and think ahead too much, and it just all kind of came out of left field. Like everything that we got and everything that came along, it was just all kind of from nothing really. We just had, we were just dead set on writing some tunes and getting better playing live. So every gig that came along, we were just like, right, we'll just focus on being great live because that's really what matters at the end of the day. People don't want to go and see a band and just stand there and kind of play sometimes out of tune and that. We want to be great as best as we can possibly be live. So we were just taking every gig that was going, and we still do. We still play as much as we can because you never know who's going to see you. And the more you do, I feel as if the better it gets because you're getting more comfortable. But in terms of envisioning what, that whole year, honestly, I couldn't have predicted it. Like, even the Tuts gig, that came at a great time because I think we were set to try and record with one of the colleges, and it was just it fell through, so we were feeling pretty shit about where we were at.
That was a total low point when I can mind.
Yeah.
It was like the Scottish Cup final. I can mind watching the Scottish Cup final, and we were looking to see when we were going in to record, because that recording with the college, it wasn't going to cost us nothing, and we were all fucking hyped up for it, and then it fell through, and kind of at that point you kind of think, right, well, what the fuck's going on? What's the band going to do? And it was literally 2 days later on the Monday, I get the email for King Tut's, and you're like,
yeah, that's right.
Fucking, how can it go from that to that in such a quick space of time?
I know. Well, that's it. It's like the music industry's weird because you do get some real low points. But last year we had a lot of low points because we were really still we'd played a lot and we were trying to find ourselves. But you do get those low points. But see when it's great, see when you get moments where things are just working in your favour and people are getting behind you, and that it's fucking great, man. Like that Touch gig was great because that was the first time we'd played it, and we've went on and played it another 2-3 times since then, which is cracking, man. It's really cool to play such a iconic venue like that. And it is, you got to savour those moments because see when it comes around, you just have to enjoy it because it won't last. And you know what I mean? But that's what you work towards when you're doing things. You work towards getting those moments and enjoying it, savouring it, and then once it's over, you push on and go, right, I'm gonna work towards the next thing. Put up with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? It's that's kind of how it works. You have to just keep going.
Another one that sticks out to me was the Poetry Club, because obviously I went to see Jack Jones for Trampoline at the Poetry Club the week before, and obviously a successful solo artist as well as his band and his work with Pete Doherty turned up at the Poetry Club that night, and there was literally 10 people, including him, including Jack Valero in support, and the photographer that I knew, you know what I mean? And that was it. There was like fucking maybe at max 15 people there that night, and I felt terrible for him. And I think a lot of it was to do with the football. Celtic was playing Aberdeen in the semi-finals, I think.
Aye, that's right.
Hampden.
Yeah.
And it was like a rescheduled thing. But I felt really bad for him. And then the following week, you just played the Poetry Club, and it was fucking sold out.
That's right.
And I sent him a video of it, and I says, look, this is what the place looks like. I like to think of that then, like somebody that's kind of a lot of years down the line and isn't able to pack it out. A week later, you are packing it out. So how did that feel?
Don't get me wrong, we've played to empty rooms, man. It is, and it's a humbling experience. It makes you go, right, and you just have fun with it. Because the people that are there, you're like, well, we're here to play to you. It doesn't matter if there's 100 people in the crowd or two, you're still there to do what you're meant to do. You're still there to put on a show, and you have to. But that it is great. It's pretty cool because it just shows that there's people there that care about what we're doing. Gives us reason to keep going, and we would always keep going anyway because we love it. We all love doing it. But aye, man, it is. It's a cool thing. It's, to get that backing from people because we can play and we can write songs and put them out. But at the end of the day, you need people behind you to actually make it work. Well, we can do everything, but it's actually the people that decide whether you're good or not. And even then, it's just about people just showing up and caring about something that you do. So that's what matters to me, giving people a reason to be there and enjoy it.
And out of all the gigs that I mentioned, all the venues you've played, is there anything else kind of that sticks out as you? Is there any kind of gig that stands out?
I really liked the Hug and Pint gig because that was during the summer, so it was like, and it was a pure cracking day. And that was busy, man. I think we headlined that as well. And for such a wee room, it was pretty packed, man. There was loads of folk in there. But that stood out because that was like, because it was such a dirty wee kind of basement room, it was like a really punk gig, if you can call it that. Yeah, it's like, because we play quite live, we're pretty, we play quite heavy, you know what I mean? Like underground rock. But that was great because it was just so intimate. And it was just, the energy was just there, you know what I mean, with everybody on stage. And then even in the crowd, it was pretty busy, man. And people were having it. So, but that's one that I love. I still remember that, and it was really great. Aye, man, I do enjoyed that one. It was great. And then obviously Tuts. Tuts was just like amazing to do that. Because I'm a big fan of Oasis, so getting to play that was cool, man. And you feel great when you're on those big stages. When you're on a big stage, because you're further away from people. There's not as many nerves. You're feeling a bit more like, oh, I can do this. This is class. But when you're playing more intimate ones, it is sometimes be a bit daunting because you're kind of on level with folk. Like you're at the same level, you're right up close, and it can be a bit like, oh, the crowd is massive. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if that's just a mental thing, but it is. I find that quite a lot. But those two stick out to me quite a lot.
And once it comes into kind of releasing music, obviously, I don't think it was up for discussion like the first release. It was always going to be Revolution. I think I might have said that after that first gig at Harley's. I said that needs to be the first song, and
Aye.
I think everybody agreed. So how did that feel then, getting your first song out? That came out September.
Aye, that's right. It was a great moment to have something that you'd written, and we went into the studio, and it was Chem 19, and to have that actually recorded and put out for people to listen to, and the response to it was great. People love it, man. And it just had to be the first song because it's a pure statement of intent from the band. Now, this song kind of sums up what kind of band we're going to be. We like, quite a rock and roll, but with, some anthemic choruses to it. You know what I mean? There's doesn't mean that we're going to stick to that, but because we all have quite a different taste in music. We all come at it with different points of view. Like Thomas is right into the Laz and cast and stuff, and he loves that. Jai, he likes punk, like 80s punk, 70s punk, and then he likes but he also likes Oasis and stuff and the Stone Roses. Hamza's right into hip hop and like heavy metal and stuff. And Scott kind of likes indie rock and kind of similar like heavy metal and stuff as well, and likes Green Day and stuff. So going at it with that kind of different, all these different kind of visions of what it could be, we all kind of add your own wee bit to the song. So for me, I hear it. I love the Beatles, I love Oasis, the Rolling Stones, and all these great bands. So I go at that kind of point of view, like, oh, I like to make it sound like this. Whereas everyone adds their own wee bit to it, and it turns into something completely different, especially when you're recording it. And that was a great day, that to record it and then put it out and have folk listen to it. And it's still, people still say it's our best song. It's still one of the best songs. That was an amazing day. It's good just to get, to do it and be in the studio for the first time, but actually recording a song. I'd never done anything like that before. And it's weird doing that because I'd never thought I would even be doing anything like that ever. I never had aspirations to go, I'm going to write music and put it out. It just all happened naturally, really.
So quickly as well when you think about it, really. It's like within a year you'll get all these gigs under your belt, you get 4 songs out now. Was it harder then, like when it came to the second release? Is it harder then because obviously Revolution was like a fucking right, that's going to be the song. Was it harder then to decide what the second song to release would be?
No, I think we kind of knew what we were going to put out. Jai had written the next single, Crashing Down, and I love that song. It's just heavy punk rock. It's just a heavy song, and it's just great. It's got a great, the guitar bits and all that. The drums are amazing. Hamza doesn't get enough credit sometimes. Drums are outstanding on that song. It's so good. I love that song to bits. So I think we kind of agreed together that that is the next one. Like it's different from Rev, but in a good way, because that is also what we are. We're not going to be just a kind of rock and roll band. We want to be we all love punk. We all like playing heavy music as well. So it was quite easy to decide that that was the next one, because we just knew it was a good tune. We just knew it was a good song. It just had a great vibe to it.
And obviously, when you're playing all these gigs as well, obviously there's no gigs with the fans.
Mm-hmm.
So the fan base that you've built up, how do you think that's helped you? Because it seems to be a loyal fan base. Obviously, there was myself helping out with the management, but you also had Scott's brother was doing a lot of artwork and stuff like that. Just all the support he's had. How did that help? And as well as that, like the community you built up with other bands, because obviously, like, you played in Edinburgh with Bad Knees.
That's right.
After the McCool's gig, you got the Air gig through local authority. You played with Pinky Promise quite a bit.
Yeah, that's right.
You played quite a few gigs with Modern Kind and Avenue Street. So how do you think the community bands and obviously the fan base has helped you?
Well, that's it. We do a lot of obviously we do all the band stuff, like writing the songs and putting them out and all that. But see, when it comes to actually all the external stuff, like photos for your single covers, T-shirts, the branding and all that, we've kind of drawn in people from the fan base, like Scott's brother, to help do designs and stuff. A lot of like yourself as well, like organising the gigs. So we were doing a lot, but it was the community around us really chip in and help. And that's what makes it kind of special, because it's not just us. There's we can do what we're doing, but the people outside it that are coming to see the shows and that, they're also somewhat involved, because they've all had their wee bit. A lot of folk have had their bit and like being part of. And I like that about it, because it should be, because it means that we are their band. You know what I mean? We're their band.
Mm-hmm.
But I know in terms of playing like with other bands as well, like I think we always go in and just have a laugh and never take it too seriously. So I think that kind of comes across well when we meet other bands that are really sound. Like Avenue Street, like Pinky Promise, like they're all, and like all the bands you've named off, like Bad Knees and The Modern Kind, they're all pure sound people, great folk, they're a good laugh, and it was great to hang about with them, like people going on to shows and stuff. So we were all quite approachable. We're not we don't think we're anything special. You know what I mean? We are who we are, and we just talk to people about stuff. Like you do get that when you play gigs. You get folk that are there's a bit level of snobbery about them. Do you know what I mean? And that's fine, but like, if you go on stage and act like that, but see when you're walking off stage and we're sharing the same green room, we'll bring it down a bit, man, because we're all the same level, and we're all trying to help each other. It's not the 90s anymore. Like, unfortunately, it's we're all here to help each other, because we all need to group together to actually get the kind of music that we're making back out there and get it into the general public, because it's hard. It's really hard for young artists.
Mm-hmm.
But you just band together and just get through it, and play great shows, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Towards the end of my time with you, I was getting frustrated. Obviously, I was coming to you with gigs, and a lot of them were getting knocked back. I mean, a lot of the time it was Hamza. Hamza couldn't play gigs the same day Celtic were playing.
That's right.
Seemed to be a bit of a problem. It was getting to a point where I was getting frustrated, and I don't think it was helping the band. So at that point, I decided to walk away. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're still good pals, still see each other at work, still fucking love every member of that band. How did that? What was that like? Obviously, when I walked away, and I'm not saying that I'm like fucking Brian Epstein or anything like that, but
aye.
But what was your kind of consensus once you've had somebody kind of help me with all this stuff, and then they're not there anymore? How did that get done?
Well, it was weird, because we'd kind of got into a bad habit, I think, maybe relying on you a wee bit, like just to kind of sort us out. And then when it wasn't working, like for band members, because it wasn't just Hamza, there was a couple of things there where we were like we couldn't do stuff, and it was like a wee bit lazy because people are working and stuff as well. It's hard to try and get work around that because you need to make your money at the end of the day. We get nothing out of doing this other than the fact that we like to play shows and keep making more music. Aye, man, it was a weird one coming out of that because it kind of left a gap. Like, right, so who's going to sort the emails? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do like all the kind of management side of things that we kind of hadn't really been doing? But I'd kind of been, picking stuff up off you, kind of the last kind of couple of months before that, and just kind of learning how to do it. It kind of, I'm not saying it fell onto me, but it kind of fell upon me to kind of go, right, we need someone to actually step up and go, right, who's going to do this shit? Who's going to, take care of the shit stuff, the mundane stuff that no one really wants to do. But I enjoy it. It's not just me, obviously. The rest of them help in some capacity here and there, but they obviously like doing the music and stuff. Like if I need help with it, I'll just ask them. But I quite like just getting on with it and just kind of doing all these things now. So it kind of fell upon me, but it's been a good thing because it helped. It's helped the band kind of learn, like, right, well, we're out very much on our own now. We need to kind of screw the nut and start working a bit harder here because I think we just got a wee bit laid back with all. Which
a
happens.
bit comfortable, didn't you? You get
Aye.
comfortable. You think that. I think there's that point where you think you can knock back a gig because there'll be another one just in the corner, and sometimes if you knock back the Rand gig, you might never get offered the next gig.
Well, exactly that's kind of how last year kind of played out. It was quite a rough time because we did go on a bit of a dry spell. We did play a good bit of gigs, but we kind of went up, like, during the summer and stuff. We went on a bit of a dry spell, and musically we were kind of struggling to kind of get some new stuff in just because there was just so much going on at the time. Once I'd kind of was like, right, I just decided that I'm going to take care of it and make sure this happens because we've done so well already, so let's keep this going. And we screwed the nut. We went back in every week rehearsing, still writing new tunes, and just kept at it. And then we ended up releasing Apple Tree next because that was one of those 3 songs. The first 3 releases were like the first 3 kind of like tunes that we'd brought in. Like, so you had Rev, which I'd written and brought in. We had Jai, who'd written that brought in Crashing Down, and then Thomas, who'd written Apple Tree. So it was kind of a good wee, like, right, the 3 songwriters of the band get a wee shot each, do you know what I mean? And it was good to bring them in because they're all good tunes, they're all great, kind of different songs in a good way. They're very much our sound, but we did find it quite hard after that just to kind of get ourselves together. And we were still playing live, but it was just a bit of a slog sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
Which, like, looking at you now, it seems to all be kicking off again. It seems to be you have found your mojo again. So obviously we've got a gig upcoming next week or later on in the week. This will be on Monday. So this Friday, April the 3rd, you play with Vida at King Tut's. So what's this, your 3rd or 4th time in it, King Tut's?
I think
It's your 4th, isn't it?
I think it's our 4th time playing now.
Yeah.
Unless we're missing one. But aye, man, that's great. I'm really looking forward to that because when I was growing up, I'd listen to Vida, like Fade Away and stuff, like, great song. So to actually have that opportunity now to support them, because I know they'd broken up for a while, and then I think it was Jamie was away for a while from the band, and but then this is them just coming back, isn't it? Like, this is them just like finally coming back, and it's good to see them back because
they played a few gigs last year because that was one of the gigs that you knocked back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, which I was really annoyed about that because I know getting on this support with Vida will be a massive help to you. I think it's the perfect band for you to support. So like when you knocked that back at that point last year, man, that was a lot to do with why I was like, right, maybe this isn't going the right way.
Yeah.
So to see you's got it kind of a year down the line.
Yeah.
I think this is going to you're going to tap into that fan base. It's going to build your fan base. You're going to get these connections with more bands. I think it's just the perfect gig for you.
Yeah. Well, it's a great time for it. Again, it came out of left field because I was kind of pushing to try and get on it because I really like Vida, so I was like, I'm going to try and get on this. I know we had that opportunity before and we missed out, but now, like, the band's like, there's a new life with the band. Like, everybody's dedicated to like doing it because we all love it. I mean, we love doing it. So I was pushing for that kind of when they had announced it, to no answer, no avail. It was only like, by the time this comes out, probably about 3 weeks ago, that we'd kind of got it. It was great because it's now set a chain reaction of things off. Like we're getting booked in quite a lot over the next couple of months with things. It'll be great to play that show, play that show, because it is a fan base that could potentially like be like, oh, these guys are actually all right, and get on board with what we're doing, because that's what we need. We were desperate for like some support slot because we had been getting offered them, but we couldn't do them obviously. But to finally get one and kind of push on and try and get ourselves out there, it really helps, man, because we've been working really hard the last couple of months, and we've just released Turn It Up as well, which went down a treat, man. People are enjoying that quite a bit, so I think that's probably helped as well. We were doing a lot to try and get stuff out in that. Do you know what I mean?
I think with the benefit of hindsight, playing this gig at this time is better than it would have been if you played last year. I think.
Aye, yeah, I agree.
Like looking at the band, he's in a little bit better place and in the right position to kind of capitalise. Whereas if you had played it last year, it might have kind of bombed. So,
Aye, no, absolutely, I would agree, man, because we were still learning our craft, and we still are. You know what I mean? We're still just learning how to navigate this. You know what I mean? This is a long process, this kind of stuff. But I know it's definitely. I think it's the right time with everything that's going on now. Like we're kind of, when we go up to play live, we're quite comfortable now, like getting set up, pushing on and doing stuff. Like sometimes you can get things too early and it can be too much too soon. Like, you know what I mean? For a bunch of guys that have more or less never really been taught how to do it, other than Hamza, who's been taught how to play the drums. No one's been taught how to write songs. No one's been taught how to. I didn't even get taught how to play the guitar. It was all self-taught, like just learning from home. Same with the rest of them. Like Scott, never been like he's never been like he's never went out and done like singing and stuff and done like anything like that. It was just we all just kind of do it and just slowly progress, like kind of in a very punk way. You do it yourself. So I think now's the right time, and I'm really looking forward to it, man, because like I says, it's a band that I really like and I listened to quite a bit growing up. But aye, man, it's just all worked out time wise. It's really worked out, and it feels right at the right time. Do you know what I mean?
So after the Vida gig, obviously, he says it set off a chain reaction. Obviously, other opportunities coming up. Obviously, I'd imagine there's some stuff that you won't be able to say. But what else have you got coming up? Either gig-wise that you can say, or musically, are you planning any more recordings? And maybe kind of looking forward again, maybe like where do you see yourself this time next year?
Well, in terms of like we're playing the Oran Moor on the 24th of April after Vida, so we've got that coming up, which I'm looking forward to because that's a great venue, man. That'll be great to play something like that. We are penned in to record something, but we'll see what happens, like what we decide to put out and timing and all that. So we are booked in to record at some point soon. And then we've got a couple of things that we have been approached with, and we're just kind of in the process of kind of going through it and then hopefully announcing it in the next couple of weeks. But aye, man, in terms of that, it's all picking up speed, and it's a great time because this is where it kind of leads up to the summer, and you start to kind of, get these gigs booked in, and people are more likely to go to gigs because of better weather. Like, it's hard to get folk to go to gigs when it's like December and it's pissing rain and the wind's hitting you and all that, and you're like, nah, just pie it the night. It's really difficult, so it's a good time to get booked in with some big bands and stuff. And moving forward, man, like I don't know, I don't think about it too much. I do plan stuff sometimes. Like me personally, I like to plan and try and think about things that I could do to kind of boost the band and propel it a wee bit. But I take it day by day, like the same way like writing songs. I take it day by day. I always just every day is different. You just do what happened, do whatever it is you want to do, and don't focus too much on getting stuff done and all that. Just take it as it comes. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like it's been picking up such speed, so I can only imagine where it might be in the next year or so. Because every time something happens, it's like a surprise. Like it feels good to get these things. Do you know what I mean? So I really don't know, but I'm open to it, man. I want to play bigger venues and support bigger bands and push on and build a fan base and stuff because we love it, man. It's a good you get such a good feeling, especially from playing live, man. The feeling you get is unbelievable. Like when you're walking off, knowing that you've played well, it's such a good feeling. It's pure euphoric. Do you know what I mean?
So I mean, this week we're going to see Pastel.
That's right.
I know you're a big fan, as am I, and for what you said, you're taking Jai as well. So we maybe fucking hassle the boys again when we see them.
I think they're sick of the sight of us, man.
Because I mean that it'd be brilliant to get a support with them. They're kind of another band that I kind of envision yous kind of playing with. I think they'd be a perfect fit for yous on the support or whatever.
Yeah, man,
Um,
definitely.
so if James or Jack are listening to the podcast today, get on the high flats. But we'll be coming to see art school anyway if I can noise you up. Last part of the podcast then. Obviously, good time for heroes. Ask my guest to pick 4 heroes to come for dinner. Why are they your heroes and what would you cook for them? I don't know how good a cook you are, Kerr. Never seen you eating anything at the work, so I don't know what you're into. So this is going to be an eye opener for me.
Aye. Right, well, did you say 5 heroes? Aye.
Well, I usually say 4 heroes, but you know what I'm like. I'm open to as many as you want. Whoever you want to bring. It depends how big your house is, how big your kitchen is.
Oh, we'll just get everyone there, man. Just get the gaff out. I know we'll go for 4 then. First, I'm gonna go for Paul McCartney. Man, he's just a force of nature. Yeah, I watched Man on the Run recently. This thing about Wings.
Hmm.
It's amazing, man. Like what he went through after the Beatles had split up. He's amazing, man. He's just the perfect songwriter. He's just amazing at writing pop songs. He's a pure inspiration to everybody because he's done it all, man. And he's just a cool guy, man. And his bass playing's unbelievable. Like watching Get Back, see the Disney the documentary
Yeah.
like by like his bass playing on the rooftop gig is just otherworldly. It's so cool, man. Like how he's singing and playing all these crazy licks and all that. It's just mental. And he's I'm a big fan of the Beatles, so he's got to be there because he's just amazing, man. A pure inspiration.
With McCartney as well, I find it funny because I spent years just obsessed with John Lennon. It's only since that Get Back documentary came out that I've had any respect for Paul McCartney. Kind of think like after seeing that, I'm like he single handedly dragged that album out because nobody else was interested. I've got that Man on the Run ready to watch as well, so I might watch that this afternoon once I've
Mate,
finished with that.
it's really good. It's a good watch, man. It is great because you forget how many great tunes that he had put out with Wings, and even just solo.
Hmm.
Like you think after the Beatles, like they were still all doing it. You know what I mean? Like George Harrison and Lennon and all that. They were still doing it, and they were still putting out just amazing songs. Do you know what I mean? So
There was so many songs that they were kind of having digs at each other a bit as well.
yeah, yeah. It's funny watching it, like because being in a band, you understand the dynamic, and they were like creating it when it was just first kind of there was no band dynamic back then.
Hmm.
No one had ever really done it the way that they were doing it before. So they've kind of set the standard for like everything up till now. You know what I mean? Everything we see in bands now is kind of, when you say like, oh, don't be a John, like you don't bring your missus to the rehearsals and all that. Do you know what I mean? Don't do what John done.
Hmm.
Like they've kind of set that standard for like, typical things that you don't do in bands and stuff. So they set that dynamic. But aye man, Paul, he's great. Like, I love all 4 of them, but it's his songwriting that I just love, like how much music he puts out, like or had put out, like the output was just it's unbelievable, and you can see in the documentary, like when you're watching it, like they're looking at him like, fuck's sake, he's got another one again, and I love that. You know what I mean? I love that because like they obviously know how great he is, but they're like John Lennon's struggling at the time. He's probably struggling. I think he was struggling with like substances and all that. And Paul's in there, going, oh, I've got another one. On here's another one I done last night, and he's probably sitting there like, oh man, this is just make me feel worse. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I love them all, but Paul's got to be the one for me, man, because his output with songs is just it's crazy, man. Next one I'm gonna go for Paul Weller, because
Yes.
yeah, man, he's just so cool. Like I seen him at the Barrowlands for the first time. I think it was 2 years ago or a year ago or something. Man, he's another one. Like the tunes that he's written, like with the Jam, and then obviously the Style Council, and then all his solo stuff. Like it's just they're so strong. Like, and again, he's another one that has such a great output of songs.
That's what I say about Weller as well. So you got the Jam, you got the Style Council, and you got the solo, but even the solo, you could split that into like 3 different segments. Like he's reinvented himself so many times.
Aye, man. Yeah, 100%.
It's
It's staggering, isn't it? It's just staggering, like how and like just the amount of times he like again like reinvents himself, changes what he wants to do. He's a true artist. Like, he's just so creative, and man, he just again the output so many tunes, and he's still amazing live, man. He's still got it. He's still just doing his thing, and it's just admirable, and it's someone I look up to because when I first started writing, my dad had given me this like I think he says, oh, I swapped a like they used to use like books to like learn songs and that. And my dad says he swapped one of his Beatles ones for a Paul Weller one. It was like the best of Weller. So I had like Changing Man and all that in it, and it had like all the jam stuff as well. So I'd kind of picked stuff up from that, like playing those kind of songs, and then going to listen to them, and then listen to Wildwood, because that was the first kind of real. I didn't really listen to the jam until after I listened to his solo stuff, like, and it was Wildwood that really kind of caught me, and I was like, man, this is fucking brilliant, man. This is such a good album. And you get digging into his other stuff, and then you find the jam, and then the Style Council, and it's just, man, he's great, man. The output from him as well, it's just amazing. He's just
the master of everything, isn't it?
he can do it all. He can do it all. He reminds me of Jai. He's just multi-talented with like music, like Jai's like that. He can play everything. You put like any instrument in front of him, and he's playing it, man. He's playing it well. Don't know how he does it, but he's just doing it. But aye, man. So he's my second guest, definitely.
The worrying thing is though, he's a Paul McCartney fanboy, so you might not get any chat with Paul McCartney if Weller's there.
I mean, I'll be fine as long as I'm just in his presence, just sitting there. I'm happy, man. Definitely. Because I'm pretty sure he's a big fan of Paul. But I know definitely my second hero. Third hero, it's got to be Noel Gallagher. It's got to be because plain and simple, I wouldn't be doing any of this if he didn't exist. He's for a guy to be in a band, one of the biggest bands of the last 25, 30 years, and then coming back and doing the reunion shows and the songs being that great to stand the test of time. It's amazing, man. He was like one of the like obviously when in the kind of second half of Oasis they did like Liam started chipping in with some songs and that, but the first kind of 3 albums was just no. He was just writing all these tunes and like putting these songs out, and then the band make it. Do you know what I mean? It's like to make the sounds that they did. It's crazy, man. For me, he's one of the best songwriters of the last 30 years. Easy. But I just can't see anyone else beating him.
That's how you got that award the other week at the Brits, obviously. And
That's right.
The thing with it as well, it's the effortlessness of it all.
Mm-hmm. Aye.
Like, see when he talks about what one was it? Live Forever, and how it he wrote it in like fucking 2 minutes or whatever. It just came to him. So,
yeah.
See that, man. See these stories, and it obviously when Oasis split, man, there was that kind of right. You pick sides, and obviously I was fucking heavy in the Liam camp, and it's only for last year for it all came back together that I've probably mellowed on no. I seen a picture of them for the cup final the other day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Did you see it with Liam and Noel get their picture taken a wee boy?
Aye.
That's amazing.
It feels good.
That picture for me just says everything, because you're like, right, for so long, for like 10 years or whatever, they were both going to Man City games, but they were nowhere near each other, and now they're in pictures together. So it does feel as if there is something longer lasting, and we will.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely going to be gigs again next year.
Aye, man, there has to be. But that's it. I think people are just generally happy to see them back together again, and being able to sit in each other's company. Aye, because people love them. The thing is, they aren't just one of the best bands of the last 20, 30 years. They're also some of the funniest people that Britain have put out. You know what I mean? Some of the interviews are just unbelievable. Just cracking these jokes and hitting out the patter from them both is just fucking amazing. So funny. So people, obviously are really happy to see them back together again, like myself and you as well. It's great. It's great, man. And I really do hope that they come back and do another tour, because seeing them live was just fucking unbelievable, man. It didn't seem real. Because you were the same day as me, weren't you?
Yeah, we were both for the Saturday, weren't we?
Aye, yeah, that was right. Oh man, it was like to see how much these songs still mean to people. Because I know how much it means to me, but to see everyone there, all ages, whether they're young, old. Because I was only 8 or 9 when they'd split up. So I kind of knew of them, but I wasn't like, I'd to listen to their music and stuff, but I'd never really been like the way I am now with them, with looking back at it. And it just shows you how timeless the songs really are and how strong of a songwriter Noel is. And that's why I want him to be that's why he's one of my heroes, because I aspire to be like that. I want to write songs like that last and people remember and enjoy. And makes people feel something that isn't, just makes people remember you and go, oh, what a tune that is. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what matters at the end of the day, the songs.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that is literally all that matters. No one will remember who they are in the next 100 years, maybe, but they'll remember the tunes. Do you know what I mean? So, he's got to be there for me.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth hero, it's a toss-up between John Squire and Steve Jones for the Pistols.
That's all right. I'll let you have them both.
Aye,
And the
go
reason
on
I'm
then.
doing that is because I was worried, because I was like, is he going to pick a fucking Rangers player or something for his fourth hero? So because you have now, I'll let you have both of them. So John Squire and Steve Jones.
Yeah, man. So I'd seen the Stone Roses for the first time when I was about 15, 16, and when they played Hampden.
Mm-hmm.
And such a great show, man. Like, to go see them, and I was only just kind of getting into music back then, like really getting into it, and to hear John Squire's guitar playing, I was like, wow, man, that's fucking crazy. Like, that is mad. Like, the first real Guitar Hero that I saw on stage, and as a band, they were amazing, but like, he doesn't get enough credit for me, like how great of a guitarist he is. Like, they did 2 albums, but all the hammer-ons and all that, it's all blues stuff as well. But even the first album, like, some of it's not blues, a lot of it's like, I don't even know what it is, but it's just like, he's just the perfect guitar player, man. Like, even when he done that album with Liam the last couple of years, maybe the songwriting's not for me, but like the guitar playing and the song and the tune itself, fucking great, man, really good. And I'm gonna take Steve Jones as well, because I watched that Pistol document, like, kind of, what's that called? Mockumentary or whatever it's called. It's like the live action thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty good, man. But I've got his book, Lonely Boy. Like, that band's a holy to me, because they're just like, they were street rats. Do you know what I mean? They were all just guys that were just kind of in the same position as us, the same position as Oasis. You know what I mean? Like, kind of trying to make something and be a band, because you want to be in a band.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Jones was just a dude who couldn't even play the guitar when he got into the band. Never even had any music experience, could barely play. I think that one of the stories in it that he says is like he's basically stayed in his gaff and just took fucking all sorts and just stayed up for days and days, like a good week, and just practiced the guitar. And I think on the Friday when they were meant to have rehearsals, they turned up to his house and he's like, oh, what you doing? And he's like, we're here for rehearsals. And like that. Yeah, it's Friday the day, mate. What you doing? And he's like, I've not slept. So he just stayed up the whole time learning to play. Don't know how true it is, but I love it anyway.
It sounds like one of Jai's phases.
Yeah, it does sound like one of Jai's phases. I wouldn't put it past him.
When he's not in his health kick phase.
Yeah, he's right in his health kick phase now. Man, he's doing well. He's doing really well. Pleased for him, man. It's got to be Steve Jones, man, because he's just like the stuff he's playing on guitar. It's fucking amazing. That one, because obviously they got Sid Vicious in at one point, and then it kind of goes to pot. And it's really funny, but it's great. Like how bad and great they are live. They were amazing. Do you know what I mean? Because it's nothing like that had ever been seen before to that point. The way that they were punk. They were punk. You know what I mean? And that album's just amazing. With the guitar parts on it are just unbelievable for me. Like, I still listen to that every day because it still sounds new. Nothing really ever has been like that. Do you know what I mean? Since, and it's inspired so many musicians. Like, Kurt Cobain says he liked Nevermind the Bollocks. Noel was a big fan of it. I'm sure Green Day. You know what I mean? They all look at that album and go, that's one of the ones that we pushed us on to become a band. And I'm the same, man, because it's amazing, man. It's a brilliant piece of work, man. But aye. So they'll go with that. Those 5 heroes.
Brilliant heroes. The one thing I would say on the John Squire, how close is it between John Squire and Crispy and Mills for Cooler Shaker?
See, now that's a hard one because I love Cooler Shaker as well, man. It's difficult because Crispin's doing he's playing and singing, and he's like Hendrix, like when he's playing as well. Like, he's pure like that kind of blues rock, kind of psychedelic rock it's a hard toss up because I could have put him in as well. You know what I mean? Because I've got loads of heroes. Like it's not just I've named four, but I've got loads, man. Like anyone that's that I like any records that I like, I just love it, and I like finding out who made them. Like Jimi Hendrix, he could be another one as well. John Lennon, I could say Hunters, but Neil Young, yeah, I could say him as well because I just like music, and I look up to all these guys because they're all amazing in their own right.
Neil Young, I've been thinking about Neil Young quite a lot the last couple of weeks. I can mind seeing a video of him playing outside Central Station. I think it's at that bit, see, like at the side entrance that isn't there anymore.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
you know what I mean? But that's how I keep thinking that I'm going to need to look up that video again. I think I found it on YouTube. If I find it, I'll send you it.
I send me it over because Neil Young's great. I'm sure he was meant to play here, but I don't know if he's cancelled or not. He's someone I need to see before before he gets too old. Because he's another one that's amazing, man. Like, I just love that. I like songwriters. That I really do. So I've got two guitarists on my list, but songwriters are the ones that mean the most to me because that's where it matters to me. Like the song itself, having a good tune is so important to rather than just being able to play guitar really well. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not the most flamboyant of guitarists. I'm not brilliant at like going doing crazy stuff, but I can do what's necessary to get the point across in the tune, and that's why I like songwriting better because I just feel better doing it. And I like enjoy it more. So that's why I really look up to more songwriters because that's where the idea is. That's where the initial conception of an idea comes from. This guy or girl putting something in there and then putting something out there and then just going right, getting a band together and then putting it out there. Do you know what I mean? That's what it matters.
So you can play the guitar, but can you cook?
I used to do hospitality in school, so I must be semi competent with it. I would I'm trying to work it out because I think Paul McCartney's a vegan or a vegetarian, so and has been for the last however long. So try to get something that appeases everybody. Maybe I like making pasta. Make a good pasta. That's always a easy one to kind of do, and you can make it look fancier by putting a bit of cheese on it and that. So maybe like a spag bol or something, or maybe even like like just a pasta, and then we'll do a separate one for Paul, and he can have like a veggie based pasta. Maybe we like put corn in it and all that, So I think we'll go with that, like a wee spag bol.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, man. Absolute pleasure speaking to you today. I see you every weekend. I speak to you every
Aye,
week, but nice to speak to you on the podcast.
aye, man.
All the best with obviously Vida gig this Friday, and with everything else coming up. But I think this is going to be the thing that kicks us on. And hopefully I'll get to see you again.
Aye, man.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
But
That'd be great, man.
all the best. Love to all the boys. I still fucking love yous all immensely.
Cheers, man.
Even though yous were a showery lazy bastards for a bit.
The feeling's mutual.
But aye, absolute pleasure speaking to yous and all the best.
Cheers, Martin. Cheers, you too, man. Cheers for having me on.
Thanks again for listening to the podcast. If you'd like to get in touch, please contact me on the email timeforheroespod@gmail.com, or you can get me on Instagram at timeforheroespodcast. Thanks very much. We'll be back soon with another episode.